The card saver and the top loader are basically the same and just alternatives to one another, but my argument is that they are actually different items for different reasons. So today I'll sort of outline that. I'd like to start off, of course, talking about the penny sleeve. So the penny sleeve is exactly what you think it is. It is a sleeve of plastic that costs about 1 penny to make. You can typically buy 100 of them for $1, 1,000 for $10. And quite simply, what they're meant to do is take the card and sleeve it up. It top loads, so you push it in from the top, and then it is protected. So the main purpose behind this type of protection is not bend protection, but rather scratch protection. So you can't really scuff the surface of this card. Any scuff will fall on the surface of the sleeve, and then all you have to do is take this card out and it's still in mint condition, and all of the damage has been taken by this. So for this exercise, we're actually going to sleeve up both of these cards, and then we will do some talking about the 2 other items in this video. But that's basically your penny sleeve. One thing of note is that some of the different brands make special branded ones that have like a little logo down at the bottom. You can pay more for them, but they offer the same level of protection. The real purpose behind something like this is just to give the card surface protection. I don't think that this type of sleeve will prevent a card from getting bent, so there's really no reason to go out of your way to buy some sort of brand name sleeve that is thicker than the competitor, because realistically this should be one of many layers of defense for your cards. So with that said, let's get started talking about the top loader. So this is a top loader. Basically it's a harder piece of plastic. As you can see, it flexes pretty easily, and all it basically does is load the card in from the top. So there's a little gap up here. You basically split that open, and then you can load the card in from the top. So we're actually going to load a card in with a sleeve. It's a pretty good way, and then I'm just going to kind of tap it in just for illustrative purposes, but as you can see, the card loads in pretty easily and without much or any trouble. So this is what a top loader is meant to do. As you can see, there is a little bit of bend protection here. It's going to be harder to sort of bend this card in any way, shape, or form, and because of that rigidity, the card remains safe. What's cool about this is that you can see it from both sides, so it is transparent. That is really helpful when it comes to looking at cards and assessing their condition. And I mean, with relative certainty, nothing is really going to fall out. You really have to kind of go out of your way for the card to fly out. One thing of note is that, awkwardly enough, the card is no longer sleeved. So during that little science experiment where I chose to wiggle the card out, it flew out of the sleeve. So as you can see, card savers aren't top loaders are not perfect. It's that exact reason that people are kind of suspicious of top loaders. They're great to display your card in, but the issue is that occasionally they allow for too much movement. So imagine a situation where you ship this, and because of shipment, it's actually able to like wiggle out or something like that. What can end up happening is the card can get damaged. As you can see right here, this card is now sticking out, and with a little bit of bad luck, this card can come out, can bend, can break, can do a lot of things. So believe it or not, my argument is that top loaders are great for the storage of your cards. You basically put them up and you hide them, and there you go. You now have a perfectly sealed stored card. Now that is contrary to what a card saver is for. Now a card saver is a semi-rigid protector. As you can see, it bends a lot easier, and the purpose behind this is for the shipment of your card. So that's my main difference between the two. I think of top loaders as a long-term storage solution. I think of card savers as a short-term storage solution and a method of shipment. Now, why would you want to ship in these if they're so much more flimsy? Well, for one, this probably isn't going to be happening a lot in a well-packaged set of cards. It's going to take a lot for your package to flex this much, and even then, This much flexion is going to cause damage to any card, so it's not like this is offering a superior amount of protection. What you need to do is package several of these and then sandwich it in between some cardboard or some plywood to make sure that there's no ability to flex. But like I said, if your cards are bending this much during shipment, you're basically going to get some damaged cards anyway. These are better for storage because these edges are a little firmer and they're a little bit more actual size to the card. Now these guys are a little bit larger and they have this lip. So as you can see, the real card saver part starts right here. Now card savers are interesting because they're a little bit more difficult to hold open, but I'm going to try to just squeeze one in there, and we're going to use Caterpie this time. This is how you put a card saver in, right? And then the good news is that once you put it in, this thing is not moving anywhere. Like this thing is basically stuck in there. The reason for that is because card savers actually squeeze down on the surface of the card lightly and create some friction. So the end result is that the card isn't going anywhere, no matter how much I try. And we're gonna keep simulating this. And as you can see, the card still, after all of that, has not come out. Now this is a wacky test, but you know, we tried that with the top loader and the card flew out. Here, enough pressure is created that the surface of the card is still perfectly maintained, but the card is not moving out of the card saver. So, in short, card savers are what you want to ship your cards in. They're going to be safer that way, and more importantly, they're not going to move around and bang around on the edges. They create a little bit of pressure, and that's to hold the card in place. These guys are a storage solution, these guys are for shipment. And yeah guys, so that is basically a super quick video teaching you guys the differences between top loaders, card savers, and penny sleeves. Realistically, the choice at the end of the day is up to you. Down below I link some recommendations for each, the card saver, the penny sleeve, and the top loader, but at the end of the day I think it's a little combination of all these things that sort of help you get together. Realistically, you could use card savers as a long-term storage solution. However, they're just a little bit bigger to care for, right? And people have shipped in top loaders before and been fine. But by and far, I think the way that the hobby has aligned itself is that I think you'll see a lot of people, especially PSA and PGS, two of the big grading services, only accepting cards from card savers, probably indicative of the fact that this is the ideal way to ship. You'll see top loaders in collector stores because it's a great way to keep cards clean, free of dust, and stored for the long term. And then the penny sleeve is pretty much a dime a dozen, right? These guys are all over the place, but they serve a practical purpose. You take a card out of a pack, it's super rare, put it in a penny sleeve. Immediately, the card is in a better condition because, you know, me doing this is going to damage the card. But if it's in a penny sleeve, like it is now, only the penny sleeve has been damaged. The surface of the card itself is maintained. So yeah guys, thanks for joining today's video. These videos are really meant to help teach folks. You know, for a lot of people, they that might be new to the hobby, they might not know what a card saver or a top loader is, so these types of videos are geared towards them. But definitely, if you have learned something, let us know down below, and if you haven't learned something or have a suggestion for what we can cover in our next TCG Toolkit video, let us know that too. So thank you guys so much for joining today's video. Follow us over on Instagram for more Pokemon stuff every single day, and thanks so much for joining guys. We'll see you soon. Peace.